Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Muriel, this asshole by Muriel, and today I have some news, y'all. Some very upsetting news. Yes, my contract was canceled. So, y'all, I worked last week, Monday. I worked on Monday. There was an incident that happened the week before, and I could tell that the family member was upset. She had complained to the charge nurse and everything. She had already warned me she was going to escalate her complaint, so I was prepared for that, but I wasn't prepared for my contract to be canceled behind it. And so that's exactly what she did. She escalated the complaint and she complained to the charge nurse. The nurse manager, the director nurse, and everybody got involved or whatever. So I was working last week, Monday, and they called me down to go over the complaints of basically the customer, because they consider them customers. And the patient stated that in the time of what was occurring, I don't want to speak too much on it because of HIPAA, they didn't feel that I showed a sense of urgency of care. It wasn't a cold situation, but it was a situation, and the family didn't feel that they didn't feel that I had a sense of urgency for the situation, and so they complained and they took their complaints to higher or whatever. Even though I showed through my text messages, because they communicated through a thing called a vote phone, and with that phone, it keeps tracks of all your messages. Once you log in and keep track of your messages. And even though I showed the director of nursing and the supervisor, whatever she was, and the charge nurse and the nurse manager, the communication I had back and forth with the doctor concerning that patient, they just felt like in that one particular moment, towards the end of my shift, I didn't show a sense of urgency or care. And so with all complaints, it's more about how the hospital looks rather than if you were right or wrong. It isn't a complaint where any type of legal action could be taken, but it is more so, I'm not going to say a morality thing, but more so they feel like that it posed a bad light on the hospital. That's the way they see it from the perception that the family member had, which was different than the actual situation of what was going on. I was actually attentive to the patient all shift, but there was one particular incident, and that incident, they didn't feel like I had a sense of urgency. So I was like, okay, well, I can understand where the patient family member is coming from, but that was not actually my intention. When I said what I said or did what I did, that wasn't my intention. Anyway, I finished that shift on out, and the next day I got a call from my agency stating that the facility was canceling my contract. I didn't think I would get canceled. I knew I would get called in because of the complaint, because it was one of those family members who I knew was making up, because she was acting all hysterical that particular night, and I knew she was going to escalate the complaint. So I did expect to get called into the office, but I didn't expect them to cancel my contract. But it was canceled, so yes. So currently now, y'all, I am in between contracts, and y'all know when it comes to that, you always keep an ace in the hole. I didn't keep my PRN. I didn't keep my acute care job where I was working. As I told y'all in my last video, I quit that job, but I'm always with the local agencies. I've been picking up shifts with local agencies, long-term care shifts, y'all. And so I'm not in fear. I am upset about my contract getting canceled, because in my mind, I had a certain amount of money I wanted to have saved by the end of my contract. Luckily, I was saving money every week that I got paid. So I am sitting on a cute little cushion. It's not, it's a cute little cushion, but I'm going to continue to work with my PRN. I'm going to continue to work my local agencies with my long-term cares to make sure I don't have to dip into my savings to continue to pay my bills. My plans were to pay some bills off. I didn't get to pay any bills off, but all my bills are current, where to the point where I really, once I got the call this Monday saying that I was canceled, I really don't have to work anymore this month if I don't want to, because all my bills were paid the first 2 weeks of the month. But I'm going to continue to work, because when the next month roll in, I don't want to depend on my savings to pay for anything. So yeah, my contract was canceled. And for those of you out there, just know contracts are being canceled now a lot for low census. C19, the numbers are dropping, and hospitals, like even where I got canceled from, that hospital had 2 pop-up units that they had shut down that very same day that I got called into the office. They had shut those pop-up units down because they didn't have, their census was low. So yeah, contracts are getting canceled. Rates are dropping I would say dramatically in the Southeast region. Now I still see the rates are pretty good, like in the 4,000 and 5,000s in like West and the North, and some even in the Midwest. But for the Southeast region, these contracts, the pay is dropping dramatically. Like they're not even really having $3K a week contracts out there. And which $3K is good, $2,500 is good. $2,500 in my opinion is good if you don't have to pay for childcare. If you can pocket all of your money, you can pocket. You're not having to pay. Like me, I was paying my daughter for childcare to make sure my son got back and forth to school. $2,500 wouldn't be reasonable for me, because then once I pay her, I'm only left with like probably 2 G's. And for me to go work somewhere to make that, when I can make that local with the local agencies and long-term care, that's not worth it to me. So right now, like I said, I'm in between contracts. If I can find me a contract which will pay me, I'll say at least $3,100, and I can probably possibly bring home maybe about $28 afterwards, then I may take it. And that's only if it's within a certain perimeter of, from where I live at. But for right now, I'm doing long-term care. Like I said, I fell back on some of my agencies. I am looking for a local travel assignment. That's what I'm looking for, a local travel. If you watched my other video, you saw where I said there are some local travel. I met some local travelers in the facility where I was who were getting a real good pay rate, but they just weren't getting a stipend. But it was fine because they lived in the area they worked, so they were still bringing in a good amount of money. Now that could work for me, because if I can find a local contract, and even if I'm not getting the stipend, I'm just getting a pay rate, and even if I'm grossing like $2,000 a week with a local contract after taxes, maybe about $1,700, that's fine, because I can be home every night. I can be in the area that I live in to make sure my son gets to school, so I won't have to pay for childcare. Or even if I have to pay for childcare, I won't have to stay. I can work that local contract, do 3 days, say a week at the hospital, and then pick up a long-term care shift, and pay my daughter out of that. And so it wouldn't be like I'll be missing out on any money to get done what I need to do. So yeah, guys, that was just a little update. Yeah, my contract is canceled. I'm upset about it. I was upset. I'm gonna put this. I'm upset about it because it messed up my plans for the money I wanted to save. And my plan was to take the month of May off. My contract was going to end May the 7th. I was going to take the remainder of that month off and try to maybe go back to work in July. I was going to take all of May off, look for a contract in probably the end of May, and maybe start something in July. But now my plans are really messed up, but it's okay. Because like I said, I got a good little cushion for my savings, and I'll just continue to work and try not to pull anything from what I have saved to just try to add to it. I won't be able to add $1,500, a week like I intended to, but if I can even just add $500 a week to it, I'm at a good starting point. So yeah, like I said, this is just a short little video because I hadn't been with you guys in a little minute, and so I said let me go make a quick little video before I jump back into anything else. So yeah, like I said, I'm Muriel. This is As Told by Muriel. If you've been watching, I see a lot of people have been subscribing to my channel. thank you. I appreciate all the feedback. I appreciate all the comments. I try to keep it real as possible. But if you like my content, just hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and I will be back with another video, y'all. So I'm back in long-term care, so I'll be focusing more on long-term care. But like I said, I am looking for some local acute travel contracts. So talk to you guys later. Bye.